Another reason why I left fundamentalism, Christianity, church, and religion is because that the church teaches its members that men were created by God to govern over all animal, woman, or child, regardless of men's ability or desire to rule. The belief that men, due to their anatomy, make automatically good and decent leaders is entirely one of the most harmful issues I have with organized religion. This is not just a Christian issue, but I think it becomes a symbol of what patriarchal religions, especially fundamentalist Christianity, views women. They believe that women are essentially inferior, that women are adult children in an adult body. The fundamentalist churches I grew up in were extremely patriarchal and very dehumanizing to women. I mean, you can be as nice as you want to a woman, but if you preach and teach that women are to submit to men and that men are designed to lead by a man in the sky, you don't really have a high opinion of the majority of people on this planet. Women outnumber men, and for some reason, I think men are only in charge because they're physically bigger and stronger. If women were stronger, we would be in charge because we outnumber men. Men can gain and keep control due to physical fitness, physique, and they do make up 94% of violent crimes against weaker people, especially stereotypical feminine women. One of the issues I have with the idea that someone is a good leader with divine authority due to what hangs between their legs is utterly ridiculous. Most of the best, most dynamic, most influential leaders in world history were women. Not all of them, obviously. There have been some amazing male leaders. But there have traditionally been a lot more bad male leaders than female leaders. Why is that? Because until recently, women had no hope of having access to male-dominated religious and political leadership roles. I mean, you look at the Catholic Church, I have never heard that they've had a female or a gay pope. I mean, in order to even be considered for pope, you have to be male. The same with being an elder, a deacon, a pastor, or a teacher that teaches both genders in the majority of patriarchal fundamentalist Christian churches. I mean, look at the Muslim and Hindu and every religion that centers around a male god, a male deity, or a male caste system. Women do not consistently have access, and in some places, they have no access to being in charge. When religious organizations and secular institutions teach that someone should be in charge due to their anatomy, is dehumanizing to people who had the highest chance of being born female. You look at how and why people are women when they are born. Everyone, including all men, women, or whatever gender or bodily existence you have, we all started as females. Every egg is a female. You have your egg that later turns into a human being. The father decides what gender it is due to what comes out of a father's body. All men started as women. We all do. Now, there are hormonal and bodily reasons why girl eggs turn into male fetuses. There's a lot of anatomy, kinesiology reasons why these things happen the way they do. But everyone starts as a woman. Even Donald Trump and all those people who hate women, they all started as a woman. Because every egg that comes out of a female's body was at one point at the very beginning female. You have to have certain chemicals and certain things happen to cause your body to change from X to XY. And it's like that. It's basic biology and reproductive facts. For religions to show open contempt and to block access for women's health care and to decide what reproductive cycle they have shows a lack of empathy or basic respect for the majority of people on this planet. You look at our country, we reverse Roe versus Wade because deep down in our psyches, the majority of people who voted presidents into office, who in turn appointed Supreme Court justices, believe that women are not fully human. They're not fully functional. They're not fully sovereign, autonomous, and it's just like they treat women like we have a mental or a brain damaged condition where we may be adults, but because we don't have enough body mass, usually on our chests, our shoulders, and our legs, men seem to believe that women are children. We call this infantilization. Our entire culture is built on the idea that women need to be saved, women need to be guided, women and everything having to do with who they are needs to be regulated and controlled by men who have never had and usually never have ovaries or any female reproductive things. I mean, can you imagine making life and death decisions for people whom you've never been one? You have no clue what they go through. And even if you're lucky enough to understand how women's bodies work in a natural way without shaming or dehumanizing them, men will never understand what it's like being a woman, being second class, being thought of as though you're a child, someone to placate, mansplain, and talk down to. I mean, even in our country, in the medical system, we have what we call medical gaslighting. Men believe that women do not understand their own bodies, don't know how their bodies work, and genuinely believe that what women say isn't worth listening to. I mean, my own mother almost died from an overactive blood pressure. She was deemed anxious. If you've ever seen the Looney Tune segment where Bugs Bunny's chest is pounding out, the heart pounding out of the chest is exactly right. When your blood pressure is 280, that's not anxiety. You need a cardiologist. You need an AED machine. You need drugs to naturally bring your blood pressure back to where it needs to be. Anywhere between 100 and 120 is traditionally the best blood pressure. When your blood pressure is when your systolic pressure is twice what it should be, goodness gracious. And she was gaslit by 15 male cardiologists because they don't believe that women have cardiovascular pulmonary problems. In a previous episode, I talked about if a man and woman went into a emergency urgent care with heart palpitations, chest pain, muscle atrophy, sensitivity around the heart tissue, the man would barely wait time and he would be taken in. His symptoms would be diagnosed, and 98% of the time he would be diagnosed with some form of cardiopulmonary vascular disorder and a prime candidate for stroke and heart attack. The woman would wait 45 minutes later if she's white. If she's not, it'd be hours. She would wait 45 minutes longer than the white male, and 4 out of 5 times, her symptoms would be diagnosed with anxiety or a mental health disorder.